Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Ngombe and I welcome you to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about macros in Microsoft Excel, what they are, their purpose, how they work, how we can create them, and most importantly, how we can use them. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. What are macros? Well, macros are simply sequences of instructions or code written in Visual Basic for Applications (VBA), a programming language that allow users to automate repetitive tasks. Macros can simplify workflows by performing complex or repetitive operations with a single click or shortcut. Key points about macros. Purpose. Macros are used to automate repetitive tasks, e.g. formatting, calculations, or data entry. They are also used to perform complex tasks quickly, such as generating reports or combining data. They can also be used to execute tasks that would otherwise require multiple steps. How macros work. A macro records a series of actions, e.g. formatting a cell or running a formula. These actions are stored as VBA code. The macro can then be replayed or executed to perform the same actions automatically. Creating macros. There are two ways you can create macros in Microsoft Excel. Firstly, by recording. Excel provides a macro recorder that captures actions you perform. These are translated into VBA code automatically. Let us see a picture right here. So, when you open Microsoft Excel, you should be able to see something like this. So, there's this developer tab and you have this the group right here called code, and you have record macro, so you can click this button and record your macro. We are going to see how we can record macros in Microsoft Excel shortly. We can also create macros by writing. For advanced users, macros can be written manually using the VBA editor. To open VBA edit in Microsoft Excel, press Alt plus F11. And if you do that, you're going to see this window popping up. So this is where you can write your code. For example, this code right here prints hello world or writes hello world on cell A1 on the active sheet. Next, let's see how we can use macros. So you can assign recorded macros or the macros that you've created using the VBA editor to your buttons, so that when you press the button, they should do something. You can also assign the macros to keyboard shortcuts. When you press some keys or combination of some keys, the macro should run. You can also assign macros to events. When activating a sheet or opening workbook, you can assign macros so that every time you open the workbook, a certain code runs. But we can also run macros via developer tab that we saw earlier. So in there, you're going to see the list of macros you have created, or you can simply assign a shortcut that you can always call whenever you need it. So that's it about macros. The next thing I want to do is I want to show you how you can record macros in Microsoft Excel. So let's quickly go into Microsoft Excel and record a macro. So I'm gonna create a new sheet right here, and make sure you have this developer tab enabled. If you haven't done that already, let me quickly show you how you can do that. Go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and make sure you have this button checked, and then click OK. After you have done that, you're going to see this developer tab right here. Next, let's record a macro. So I'm going to hit this record macro. I'm going to give my macro a name. I'll just call it my macro. You can give a shortcut to your macro. Let's give it a shortcut. Ctrl+Shift+S and choose the location where to store your macro. So currently is in this workbook, so it's going to be available in this workbook only. You can also choose to store the macro in personal macro workbook. If you store your macros in here, the macro will be available in all workbooks, in every workbook that you open, or you can choose to record the macro in a new workbook. But for now, we're going to store this in this workbook. You can add a description if you want. We're not going to do that in this video. Once you're done, hit OK. You can see right here the recording has started. So let's try to create something right here. So I'm going to write there ID. Sorry. First name, last name, 6, age. Let's apply some formatting. So let's say bold, change some background color. Control Z. Gonna change some background color here, and the font color like that. Let's adjust the column width. And let's apply borders. Control Shift, press down arrow, all borders. So this is the template that we have created, and our macros have recorded the steps that we did. So let's go and stop the macro. So we're going to stop it like that. Now next, how can we run our macro? So let's create a new sheet right here. So we want to actually do the exact thing we did right here, but instead of doing it ourselves, we're going to run the macro. So how can we run our macros? So all recorded macros are found in here, view macros. So you can see we have got two macros right here, the hello world that I showed you and the macro that we have recorded. So you can see we have my macro here, select it and hit run. So as you can see, everything that we did on sheet 2 has also been repeated on sheet 3. We can also call the macro using the shortcut key that we assigned. So let's run here using the shortcut key. So place Control Shift plus S. So you can see we have the same result. So by doing this, you can actually record the steps that you want to actually call every time you are in Microsoft Excel. Thank you so much. If you're interested to learn more about macros, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, see you in the next video.